from Learfield. This is the Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with former OSU All-American Jim Lachey and the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, here's your host, Skip Mosic.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome into this week's Buckeye Roundtable Show. Huge win for Ohio State Saturday at Penn State. We'll talk about that and more with former OSU All-American, NFL All-Pro Jim Lachey. We're starting in the dark. That must mean it's November.
Yeah, my favorite time of the year, Skip.
Former Buckeye National Champion Tyvis Powell with us tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I had to bring some youth to the table.
and that you did. And looks and everything else. Hall of Fame coach, former Ohio State head coach John Cooper. It's always a great night when we can talk football with Coach Cooper. Great to see you.
Thanks again. Thanks.
Paul's in Las Vegas for Buckeye basketball later tonight against Texas. He'll be back with us next week. And Coach Ryan Day will join us coming up later this hour. Coach Cooper, as great as the 1995 win at Penn State was for you, how big was this one for Coach Day after dealing with all the noise? You can't get over the hump on the big one. There's only 4 other guys who've been alive to deal with the pressure as head coach at Ohio State. You're one of them.
It doesn't get any better than that for the head football coach. I could not wait until the game was over. I had to send him a little text to tell him how happy I was for him, his wife, his team, and the Ohio State football team for the great coach. I thought we outcoached them. I thought we had a great game plan, and I'm so happy for Coach and his team.
Tyvis,
and family.
Absolutely. Tyvis, 3 weeks ago, some were saying and writing that the Ohio State defense was horrible. We had you on afterwards to talk about it. That defense didn't allow a touchdown to the number 3 team in the nation at their house. What are you seeing from this defense right now?
First of all, it made me smile just seeing that. They're just a gritty group. I think that they hear the criticism, obviously. Ryan Day even spent some time down there on that defense, and once the head guy comes down there, it's time to lock in. So it was nice just seeing them get some of those key stops, especially those 2 in the red zone, how they finished the game with that goal line stop. That right there is demoralizing to a team, so it was nice to see these guys finally get some silver bullet defense.
Jim Lachey, last week, all we heard about was the O-line problems and the result being a poor rushing performance against Nebraska. How'd those guys up front play, especially at the new spots? And how about ending the game just pounding the rock when everybody knew that's what they're going to do?
No, the last 6 quarters, they averaged less than 2 yards per carry when you take the second half in Oregon and Nebraska. So the criticism was there. It was warranted because they weren't able to run the football effectively, but they made some adjustments. They put Donovan Jackson there from left guard to left tackle. They brought Carson Hintzman, who's been, kind of since the Michigan game, has been in the doghouse, so to speak. Now they brought that dog out, and he was ready to hunt. He was ready to get after people, and he had a heck of a football game. Both those guys did a good job commuting. Now, Donovan, got to get that pass protection down, get that locked up, and he will the more reps that he gets out there. But what he brought running the football, you could see it. That whole offensive line was able to move people. And then, as you mentioned, the way to end that ball game with 10 straight runs and then the victory formation, it didn't get any better than that. When you kill 5:13 off the clock in the opposing stadium's place, and you just quiet that whole crowd, you start to see people, leaving. About 1 minute to go, there was a mass exodus of that place, and
how about that?
Nothing better than that.
How about the first play was a quarterback sneak for 4 yards?
Yeah, they went from the 1 to just outside that 5-yard line. That gave them a little bit of breathing room, and first down after first down after first down.
Fans, tonight's broadcast, as well as all of our Buckeye Roundtables throughout the season, are available on our flagship station's YouTube page. Simply search WBNS Radio on YouTube. You can watch it live or later if you miss any part of it. You can also download the Buckeye Roundtable podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to subscribe to both. You can win a catered party for up to 20 people, including an appearance from a former Buckeye at your home for an away game this season. It's the Giant Eagle Ultimate Buckeye Home Gate, presented by Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola. Register today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/homegate for your chance to win. Saturday, Ohio State will host Purdue. We'll be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 10:30 a.m. Up next, our 60-second timeout as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready? doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show, presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mosic. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS-TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/BuckeyesCare.
Buckeye Roundtable, 60-second timeout.
Lots to squeeze in here in tonight's 60-second timeout. Ohio State's goal line stand was obviously one of the biggest things that helped the Buckeyes win the game on Saturday. We have to talk about Penn State's play calling, though. First and goal from the 3. Your best player, Tyler Warren, doesn't touch the ball. How much second guessing is happening about that, Tyvis? We'll start with you.
I think that they're definitely looking at that part. I mean, the guy is so good because he can play quarterback, he can run the ball, he can catch the ball. When you get down there, he is the guy that Ohio State defense probably thought all week, we have to find a way to stop 44. when the game's on the line, you give the ball to your best player, give him an opportunity, and they didn't do that. And as a Buckeye, I'm not mad at them for doing that.
Coach Cooper, you know Coach Franklin's hearing about but just the play calling itself there, specifically in that situation.
They go right real quick, like down to the 4-yard line, and all of a sudden, boom, they run the same play 3 times in a row.
Basically, yep.
And then they try to hit 44 into the boundaries I talk about. If you're going to do that, put him to the field. But I agree, 44 should handle the ball the first down, the second down, and I promise you, he's probably going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, we were talking about it on the broadcast. I go, man, I'd get 44 involved here. Again, knowing that you have to cover him, and I think our guys did do a good job. Lathan Ransom was all over him.
Sure.
You know, I think the guys talked about last week, we got to win our one-on-one matchups, and they were able to win their one-on-one matchups with those guys. And yeah, I think they even threw some double coverage at him several times, which you have to do. I mean, because he's a guy that, I think the last 2 games, he had 17 and then 7 catches. Coming in the 2 previous games, he had 4 in our game. So they understood what they had to do. They had to slow him down, and they found a way to do it.
Somebody told me we double covered him the whole game. We put downs on him, didn't we? A lot.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
And as a top safety that Downs is, he should have went in there and said, "I want that assignment this week."
He almost could have done it himself. It looked to me like he is a great football player.
Good job by him, no doubt. Will Howard, fellas, obviously got off to a bad start. The pick 6 put Ohio State in a 10-0 early hole. Tyvis, what does that say about the composure of this team, though, to respond the way it did in that environment?
Well, I think you got to go back to just their training. You know, the all-season training with Coach Mick and Coach Parker and that strength staff, you know, they put them in hostile environments and adversity, and these guys got to fight. So I knew that they had that type of DNA. Me being a former player, I've been there where they've been at. And what I really think about this team is you can tell that everybody loves Will Howard. I say that because everybody knew this week how important this game was to Will Howard. He expressed how he wanted to go there, and they didn't think he was good enough. And when they went down 10-0, nobody on that sideline, to me, had their heads down or nothing. They were trying to find solutions, and they stepped up and rised up to the occasion because they wanted to have their brothers back. And it just goes to show you how much they care about Will Howard on this team.
You know, Penn State had that 14-play drive, and Ohio State, got the ball with 6:54. 3-and-out, pick 6. Boom. You're thinking, okay, it's 10-0. Just, before you even done anything. And then Ohio State took that next drive and took it all the way down the field, and Mecca got the score. They got another score. Next thing you know, it's, 14-10. They made up those 2 scores in a hurry. And meanwhile, defense is forcing 3-and-outs, forcing punts on the other side of the ball, and kind of gave them confidence. So I think Tyvis is right. They rallied. They, say, hey, man, we got your back. Don't worry, we got your back. And the defense was able to get stops. Offense is able to get touchdowns.
Coach Cooper, it's one thing to say you're going to do that, but it's another thing to really have the composure to say, it's all right, we've got this.
I could not be happier for a football player than I am for him. I tell you, that almost same thing happened to me. I grew up a Tennessee fan thinking they're going to give me a scholarship. They didn't. I wasn't good enough to play down there. So for him to want to go to Penn State his whole life, they did not recruit him. He goes back over there and wins the biggest game of his career so far. So happy for him.
All right. Next up, we talked last segment about the offensive line and the Ohio State running game. And while the line did play better, how much did Ohio State's running back seem to play with a little bit different attitude than maybe we saw against Nebraska? There seemed to be a little bit better edge, Tyvis, from both Judkins and Henderson.
Well, I mean, you knew, first of all, those two had their big boy assignments because when you look across the field, you got 2 running backs from Penn State that people think highly of. So I think these guys wanted to go in there and say, we're the better combo of running backs, and we're going to show y'all why we the best in the Big Ten. So I think that brought a lot of edge to them. And you're in November. In November, you got to run the ball and be the more physical team. They wanted to get that stigma off of them, so I think that also played a part into it.
No, you're right. Singleton and Allen are both great backs, but they were shut down in that game.
Yes, I mean,
Aller, was a leading rusher until Tyler Warren took that 133, and he ended up being a leading rusher in the ball game for him. We really shut down those 2 guys. I think they both had 20-some yards, so they weren't really a factor. Now, Singleton was a factor catching the ball. He ended up with 6 catches in that ball game, but just the fact that they were able to shut down that running attack, that was huge by our whole defense. I mean, they were, again, our D-line got penetration. Cody Simon, man, he was all over the field. Yeah. Sonny Styles ended up with 9 tackles. Cody with 10. both those linebackers played at a high level.
We beat a good football team. Penn State's a good football team. I'll be surprised if they lose another game this year.
Ohio State nearly tripled their rushing numbers from Nebraska. I mean, just show the difference from one week to the next. All right, next, both teams had red zone turnovers. Howard the fumble, Penn State the pick that was really the equalizer. I mean, turnovers in the red zone, Coach Cooper, will lose you football games. Is that why Igbenogsen's pick was so big?
Oh, unbelievable. And the thing that hurt them, getting back to that, they had 2 penalties that cost them the possession of the football. Their defensive tackle jumps offside one time.
Yep.
And then of course the toning call. Yeah. Was that a good call? Sure, it was a good call. Do you get that? You don't get that call every time, but it was a good call.
I thought the refs were great, because they didn't make many calls. I think we had 2 penalties in that ball game. One was declined, and that was awesome. Again, talk about the offensive line, playing in a hostile environment, getting false starts. We had more false starts up in Oregon than we did at Penn State, and twice as many people.
The team that makes the fewest mistakes, guys, usually wins a football game.
Tyvis, last week, Coach told us about them putting boxing gloves on Igbenogsen and maybe some of the other DBs to keep from using their hands. Is that an old trick? I mean, did you guys ever do anything like that?
So actually, Kerry Combs used to do that to the corners just to keep them from grabbing. We had guys like Eli Apple who struggled a little bit with grabbing. And, when that ball gets in the air, guys get nervous. And what it does is, if you got the boxing gloves on, obviously you can't grab, and it teaches you to relax. You're a good player. When that ball's in the air, get in phase, make a play on the ball, and I think these guys are getting better at that.
Well, it was obviously led to results. That was an incredible interception that he had there in the end zone. First CFP rankings will come out tomorrow, fellas. Besides getting the huge win that keeps all of their goals in front of them, how huge was this win nationally for Ohio State? Just not to find themselves in that 2-loss pool of teams that others seem to find themselves in right now.
Well, I mean, it's their biggest win on their resume. You looked at Ohio State resume before this, and they had no big win. They played some good opponents, obviously Oregon, but they lost that game. This gives them a solidified top 5 game win, the biggest win on their schedule, so now it's respectable. And I think when the CFP standings come out tomorrow, they'll probably be 2.
And I think you saw after the Oregon game, a 1-point loss on the road. They didn't lose much ground. They still stayed in the top 5, and that was important, too, not getting blown out on the road. And, the way that game played out, seconds to go, you can't get the field goal off. You have an offensive pass interference. All those things that happened in the game kind of played into it, too. But to take care of business now against Penn State, who is a top 5 or was a top 5 team, that's huge. Of course, Indiana's still looming. They're a little bit behind us, but you got to take care of that business, too. We'll talk about the Big Ten next, but they're playing well.
I'm going to put us 3. I'm still going to put Georgia 1. I'm going to put Oregon. You got to put Oregon ahead of us because they beat us, and then the Buckeyes 3.
We always rate the opponent. I think everybody's in agreement, though. Penn State's a pretty darn good football team.
Yeah, they are. No, they got some weapons now. Probably not outside of wide receiver like they've usually had in the past. There's no Dotsons there, guys like they've had, and there's no Saquon Barkleys like they've had there in the past. But overall, they're a good quality football team. They got to live with the fact that they just couldn't score. They had 3-4 shots at the 3-yard line at home and couldn't punch it in.
Washington at Purdue at Maryland. At Minnesota and then Maryland at home to close it out. I really don't see them stumbling in the last month.
Yeah, no, I think they should definitely finish this season 11-1. It's definitely a CFP team. If the Cards play right, maybe we'll see them again later in the playoffs.
Host a game, absolutely. As Jim's referenced, some interesting things happened this past weekend around the Big Ten. We'll break it down for you next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State
is designed to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access
to cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center. Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
The kickoff to savings event is here at AgPro. Through October 31st, we're offering 0 down and 0% for 84 months on John Deere compact tractors. Get a 1025R tractor with loader for just $279 per month, or a 3025E tractor with loader for only $349 per month. Visit your local AgPro store today. Offer ends October 31st. Limited time offer. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
From the first one born in the USA to the tens of millions that followed, from the American highways to the NASCAR race days, more people have counted on their Camrys than any other car for over 22 years. And now, Camry is even better. It's all hybrid all the time to be more efficient yet powerful, with available all-wheel drive for the capability to go wherever you want to go in style and comfort. For the latest offers, go to Toyota.com and make your own history. Toyota, let's go places.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mosic. Buckeye fans, say goodbye to higher rates with a fixed price plan from AEP Energy. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Big Ten Breakdown.
Curtis Rourke sends Ellison in motion. Gets the snap. Looks. Runs with it. 5. Dumps it in the end zone. Catch is made. Surratt with a catch. Touchdown, Indiana.
Don Fisher, Indiana, gets into a 10-point hole at Michigan State. They respond with 47 unanswered. IU is 9-0 and playing with confidence, Jim.
They certainly are. And, Michigan State, they had no running game. Credit Indiana for shutting them down. They ran 32 times, Skip, for minus 36 yards. You take the sacks in there and all that, it goes to minus. And the Spartans now have 18 touchdowns on the season and 17 turnovers.
Oy.
So, yeah, I mean, they actually got more turnovers than touchdowns. They got 18 turnovers and 10 touchdowns. But give credit. That's the first time they trailed. They came back 3 straight touchdowns. They're up 21-10 at half. And some of the Indiana players say, hey, we had to trail sooner or later. So they got tested.
They haven't even played a game in the snow up there.
No. Tyvis, we were talking during the break, man. I mean, where'd this come from? I mean, Coach Cignetti, we knew was good. We knew that he was bringing some decent players in, but my goodness gracious, they've just been on a roll.
I tell you what, though. What he's done is he's brought the confidence and he's made them believe. The thing about Indiana is even back when I was playing here in 2012 to 2015, they weren't a bad team. They had guys that were really good, and it was some games where we were struggling to beat them.
One over there, I remember for sure.
The thing is that we, at some point, I don't know how much they believe that they actually could win those games. Like, they were in it, but at some point, Ohio State just always overtook it. Now they got a coach that's like, y'all are that good, and they're showing it week in to week out. Offensively, they get Curtis Rourke back. He's coming back from his thumb injury, and I was curious to see how he would respond to that. 4 touchdowns, no picks, and then we don't even talk about the defense enough. I mean, this is one of the best defenses. They were number 7 scoring defense in the nation. I mean, these guys, Nate Carter for Michigan State, for the past couple of weeks was on a tear. Like, that offensive line for Michigan State was bullying guys. For them to finish the game with that, negative 36.
I know.
He's already my coach of the year.
Yeah, he'll get it.
Yeah.
Coach of the year.
Indiana gets Michigan, and then bye before Ohio State, and then Purdue. To Ann Arbor next, where Michigan hosted top-ranked Oregon.
Now Whittington comes back to join Dillon Gabriel. In motion, goes all the way to the right. Back to throw. Gabriel steps up, gonna run. Got a block. 10, 5. Dillon Gabriel, touchdown Oregon. Designed quarterback draw, and it was blocked just the way you ask it to be blocked. Give me room to run, and Dillon Gabriel can run.
Yes, he can. We saw that in person. Jerry Allen on Learfield, never really in doubt, Jim. Oregon beats Michigan 38-17.
No, and you know, they ran all over him, too. I mean, Jordan James had more rushing yards, 117, than Michigan had as a team. So, you know, they won with their offensive line, moving the ball around. Now, Gabriel just had 1 touchdown receiving. They lost Tez Johnson early in that game, but Holden came up. He started making some plays, catching the ball, ended up with 6 receptions for 149 yards. So they got some big play wide receivers, as we witnessed, and even without Tez Johnson, I think their best wide receiver, they found some other guys that could step up and fill that void. Michigan made mistakes, man. They just, you know, I guess the one that was kind of interesting is when they lined up in that punt formation, and, you know, they got in a funky look where everybody was lined up wide. They covered up the center and got the penalty because you can't do that.
Tyvis, I keep kind of waiting for the travel to catch up with Oregon. And back and forth. So far, it does not seem to be the case at all. They're just dominating.
Listen, when you got so many playmakers like that, you know, it's never going to catch up with you. I think they're doing a really good job. They figured out the travel plan. You know, maybe some teams take off 2 days earlier. Maybe they taking off the day before. Whatever it is, they're doing a really good job of recovering and being fresh for that game. I think that this was a statement game the way they did this. You know, they could have easily went through the air. You know, the Wolverines were without their best corner, Will Johnson. So obviously that was the thing that they could have done. The fact that they chose to win it on the ground, like that, this was a statement. This was personal to them, and they found a way to get it done.
And you got a guy out there named Phil Knight from Nike. They might have their own personal airplane. Who knows?
Champaign is next. Number 24, Illinois hosted Minnesota.
Rosemer with the tight end now lined up right behind him. It's a spin. The pass to the tight end all alone. Touchdown, Jamison Gears. And Minnesota's back out front. We saw that play against Bowling Green in Detroit for Gears' first college touchdown last year in Detroit. And he's got another TD today, his second of the season. And Minnesota back out front, 22-17.
Mike Grimm on Learfield. Gophers beat Illinois. Kind of back and forth game, Jim, 25-17.
It was the first time Bielema lost to him. Minnesota. He never lost to him when he was at Wisconsin. This is the first time he lost to him at Illinois. And, you know, it's the first game that Illinois lost at home. But Max Brosmer, the quarterback, is really starting to make some plays for Minnesota. And they're on a little bit of a run here, starting to find a way to win and getting some confidence. Both these teams got 6 wins, so they're both bowl eligible and fighting to finish higher.
4-2 in the league, Tyvis, for Minnesota.
I tell you right now, this is one of those teams that you talk about a team that's clicking on all cylinders at the right time. I'd be scared to play them right now. I mean, Max Brosmer, they were getting carried this whole season by Darius Taylor. He's a phenomenal running back, very physical, great balance. He does a lot of good things. There's a couple of times he done ran people over on the 1 yard line, so he's a physical guy.
Fourth straight win. He's got him rolling the boat up there, guys.
I'm telling you, that passing attack is coming alive. That's a scary team to play.
To West Lafayette, Purdue hosted Northwestern. It went to overtime.
First down for the Cats at the 22-yard line. High snap, flash, quick throw, caught. Wildcats win. Joseph Hyman the second, all by himself, down the right sideline. Touchdown Northwestern, and the Wildcats pour off of their bench into the north end zone here at Ross-Ade Stadium. Hyman with his second touchdown today, and the Cats win it in overtime, 26-20.
Dave, and it's on Learfield. Wildcats there with the game winner, Jim.
No, and that was probably the Purdue's best chance to get a victory in the Big Ten. They got them into overtime and just couldn't quite finish that deal off there. People are questioning some of the things that they did by Purdue, but, they're fighting. I mean, that's 2 games now. Yeah. They came back big on Illinois a couple weeks ago and lost that one in overtime. Now their only victory is against Indiana State, and they haven't won in the Big Ten yet, and they can get some tough teams ahead of them.
Yeah, we'll talk to Coach Day about this coming up, Tyvis, but, Purdue, they're not getting the W's, but they do seem to be playing better than they did a month and a half ago.
Yeah, you got some guys that's starting to emerge. Like Max Clare was a guy that nobody really thought of before this season started, and he's become a real weapon for them. Guys are getting healthier. Hudson Card came back, and I was interested to see how he would be in his first game back, and, he looked pretty good. He threw the ball well, 267 yards, 1 touchdown, didn't have no picks. They just got to find a way to finish these games. If you're going to be in them, at least finish. Don't get to the finish line and slow down.
Coach, I mean, it is what it is, as they like to say, but you can only continue to improve so much. At the end of the day, you got to win some football games.
I think don't they go over and play who they play this week?
The Buckeyes.
Purdue comes here this week.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Purdue comes here. Then we play Purdue. What am I talking about?
We play Purdue. Then we play Northwestern the week after.
I thought they have to go for the Happy Valley before the season's over too, don't they?
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah. That's next week. That's what I was thinking about.
All right. From Happy Valley, talking to Lincoln, Nebraska. Could the Huskers play as well as they did in Columbus the previous week as they hosted UCLA?
Sea of red at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, 402nd consecutive sellout. Bruins are spoiling the party, leading 20-7. First down at the 48 of Nebraska. Play action. Garbers looking, loading, throwing. Got Gilmer open left side, catching at the 10, dancing into the end zone. Did he get there? Yes, sir. Touchdown UCLA. 48 yards from Garbers.
Josh Lewin, UCLA Network Bruins win at Nebraska, 27-20, kind of surprising.
Well, they had a tough game against Rutgers where they had to come by and win the week before, 35-32, and this one, they really never trailed. They were up 13-10, and got some more points there in the third quarter. Nebraska lost Raiola. He got injured. He tried to come back in. I think his back kind of locked up for him. They're trying to get that 6th win because Nebraska hasn't been bowl eligible. They're sitting there at 5-1 thinking this is going to be easy. They haven't made it. It hasn't been easy for them yet.
And real quickly, you take a look at what else happened in the league, Tyvis. Iowa big over Wisconsin, 42-10. And then out west in Seattle, Washington, they take care of USC, 26-21. And you look at SC, and you have to be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, because they started the season off with that big win against LSU, and you thought, oh, yeah, this is going to be really good for this conference. And, they've had some fourth quarter collapses that's really hurt them this season.
Coach Cooper, were you surprised how easily Iowa took care of Wisconsin on Saturday?
Not really. I think Iowa is one of the better teams in this league. Their offensive line, I think, is really good. I think they're extremely well coached. That's a good football team. What are they, 6-3 right now?
Yep,
probably going to win out.
Join Coach Ryan Day and experts from across Buckeye Nation to preview every matchup and break down each week's game. Game Time with Ryan Day airs Saturday mornings at 9 on 10 TV in Columbus and is also available at OhioStateBuckeyes.com. Up next, we are scheduled to be joined by Ohio State coach Ryan Day as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
As the official hot dog of Ohio State athletics, Sugardale is dedicated to delicious. Whether you're cheering on the Buckeyes at the game or grilling at your home tailgate, you can count on Sugardale to score a touchdown. Made right here in Ohio for more than 100 years, Sugardale has always taken a personal approach to making great-tasting, high-quality meats. Look for Sugardale hot dogs, bacon, ham, and more at your local grocery store.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We are the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Hey there, Buckeye fans. Coach Day here. When you're getting ready for game day, make sure you start with the Kroger app. The app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too. And best of all, when you shop with the app, you'll enjoy the same low prices you'd find in-store. So check out the app and save while you're cheering us on to another great season. Kroger, fresh for everyone, and go Buckeyes.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mosic. Ohio State over Penn State on Saturday, 20-13. We're joined for a few minutes now by Coach Ryan Day. His comments are presented by Kroger. And, Coach, you talked about it after the game on Saturday. How satisfying was that win, especially in the manner in which you closed it out with defense and then running the football to run out the clock to get the W?
Well, we're already on to Purdue, but it's great to see our guys finish out the game the way they did. Thought we could learn a lot from it, but this win only allows us an opportunity to go reach our goals. I think it does have an opportunity to really build our confidence as we move forward, but we got to focus on Purdue. It's November now, and our goal is to be undefeated here in this month.
Coach, going back to Oregon, you talked about, hey, we got to win the fourth quarter. We got to win the fourth quarter, and you did. You had the ball to start the fourth quarter. Well, end of the third with 15 seconds to go. You take it into the fourth. You get a field goal. You go 20-13. Penn State has the ball for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then, we know what happened. You get the goal line stop, and then you take that last 5 and just run out the clock. It can't be a better feeling than controlling the fourth quarter like the way you guys did.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I spoke about this a bunch, and we talked about this a lot, about how when you get to the fourth quarter, the bottom line is you got to go win the game. Now, what do you want the fourth quarter to look like? And that depends on your execution and how you played up to that point. But the bottom line is we got to get a stop on defense, and we got to either go down and score or finish with the ball in our hands on offense. And, to our guys' credit, they handled that the right way the last 2 weeks. And it doesn't matter what's happened up to that point. It could be 6-3 or, 52-51. You got to go win the game in the fourth quarter and get a stop. And on defense, that happened. And then was proud the way the offense, got that ball from the 1 yard line, started with a 4-yard sneak, and then it went from there.
Coach, it was reports that you spent time down with the defense this past week. What was it like being on the dark side, the best side, and how did you think your defense performed in this game?
Yeah, well, there was some things coming out of the Oregon game that we knew we needed to get addressed. First off, we felt like we needed to get aligned faster. We had to get our cleats in the dirt. We need to simplify some things and allow our guys to play, and then decide when the game is on the line, what are we hanging our hat on? And I think the defensive staff did a great job of that. I think that the adjustments have been made, but they need to continue to be made. as the season's gone on and will continue to go on, every team has got more and more film out there to try to attack and scheme you. So you got to be on your stuff. You got to upgrade on a weekly basis, as you know. But also it's going to come down to fundamentals and playing really physical and really tough. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of plays that can get drawn up. But if you're defeating blocks and running to the football, then, you're going to really force teams to scheme up a lot of plays against you. And, one of the things we do not want to be is schemy. And, I feel like on defense that, we've really found our identity on that part of it. But, humility is 1 week away. And we got to make sure we're showing up against Purdue and playing our best football.
Coach, I thought you guys had a great game plan. I thought you did a great job, spending time with the defensive side of the ball. They didn't allow a touchdown, so we must have played great defense the whole game. And Coach Kelly had a couple of those plays that I never seen us run all year, the crossing route when they had man coverage for a touchdown, caught him in man coverage, and then Thurman catching the ball. I think that was only the second pass he's caught all year, I think, number 15. So I thought our coaches did a great job. I thought you guys really out-coached them. I'm so happy for you, your family, and the whole dang football team. You know that.
Well, thanks, Coach. I appreciate your support. And as you know, it's not always easy, but we got a lot of people who care a lot about Ohio State football. So, to win that game was great, and now we got to keep building on it. But, yeah, to go back to your point, I don't know on the stat sheet how many catches and drops Jelani had on that one play, but I think it was about 3 of each.
One catch per ball.
Right.
The other point I would make, Coach, and you talked about this, that the team that makes the fewest mistakes usually wins the game. They jump offside, give us another possession. They get the taunting call, which I thought was a great call, and give us another possession. So those are uncalled for. You can't make those kind of mistakes and beat a good football team.
No, you can't. You can't. And one of the things we really wanted to do was not have any penalties in the offensive line. No false starts, no holding calls. They did that, and they stepped up in a big way. And, we talked, because it was coming off of a timeout on that third down, that, we wanted to go on 2. We wanted to use the double head count because we felt like Carter – was really trying to time it up on us. And that was a big first down to get those. I mean, every first down is a big one. But that third down conversion, I think it was 3rd and 3, was big. And, the discipline of the line to change up the cadence was a big deal. And I think it helped us throughout the game because they knew that we could use multiple cadences.
Where I came from, they call that great coaching.
Hey, Coach, we saw the running attack. Obviously that took off, had 170 yards in that ball game. But what I was impressed with both Travion and Quinshawn was their blocking, man. They were able to lay the wood to a few guys. And, that just shows a toughness factor. You don't care if the ball's not in your hand. You're still going to go out there and play football. And those guys pack a punch is the way it looks.
Yeah. And, the message all week was the most physical team was going to win the game. And we wanted to do that, whether it was the ball was in our hand or not. But I agree with you. I think the running backs both played very well when the ball was not in their hands. Travion in protection. On the quarterback run there, the ball squirted out there on the 2-yard line. He absolutely pummeled the guy. But then they also ran hard. I mean, ran really hard in the fourth quarter. And Quinshawn's, got that ball bolted up, and you can tell like they were just not going to take the ball from him or Trey or Will in that fourth quarter. And that's what we need. I mean, that's who we are, and that's going to be our identity moving forward, that we have to go into games and physically get after people and set the tone. And so, and we're in control. If we want the game to, look different in the fourth quarter, then execute better in the first half. And that's going to be the message this week, is to be really, really physical, continue to do that, continue to run the football, but execute at a high level. So precision will be very, very much, the forefront of what we're talking about this week.
Coach, last thing you mentioned right from the get-go, it's on to Purdue. While they've struggled in the win column, every opposing coach they faced have said they're playing much better than the record. What have you seen from the Boilers?
The same, yeah. So Coach Walter made the jump over to offense. I don't really know the details of all that, but I know that they've played well, the last few weeks and have played some good teams really, really tough. And it's come down to one play, and that record could look a lot different. They certainly, had their struggles this year. But this is, again, a Big Ten opponent that's coming in here. And, again, humility is 1 week away. And so, we saw it a couple weeks ago against Nebraska. They came in and played their tails off. We're going to get their best shot. So, we've got to execute well. We've got to play physical, continue to build on the physicality that we played with this last week.
Buckeye coach Ryan Day, we always appreciate your time. We'll see you for your presser tomorrow and obviously your radio show coming up on Thursday, okay?
Thanks, guys. Go Bucks.
Coach's comments presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. Up next, we'll hit the Red Zone with Tim May of Letterman Row as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota.
With 25 different choices that'll have you ready for anything, including the new all-hybrid best-selling Camry, the adventurous best-selling RAV4, the best-selling, more powerful Tacoma,
and the newest member of the Crown family, the Toyota Crown Signia.
All come with the traction you need for confident driving.
Any road, any weather. Toyota all-wheel drive.
The more you know, the more you'll drive Toyota.
Let's go places.
The National Veterans Memorial and Museum in Columbus preserves and shares the stories of our nation's veterans from all branches and all eras of service. With a gift of $20 or more, you can honor a veteran in your life by dedicating a flag in their name to be displayed on the museum's expansive grounds on Veterans Day weekend. Your gift will be matched, and your veteran's name will be shared on our website. Learn more at nationalvets.org.
Hey Columbus, looking for the perfect day trip? Head to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Dive into football history, see legendary players, and enjoy interactive exhibits. Fun for the whole family. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for tickets. The Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, where it's always football season.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mosic. For every Buckeye touchdown scored this season, the Heartland Bank Community Foundation will make a donation to the USO of Central and Southern Ohio, benefiting our active duty military personnel and their families. For more information or to support our troops, go to usocso.org and be the force behind the forces.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
Ohio State gets the win at Penn State 20-13. We're joined by Tim May of Letterman Row. Tim, it is the red zone, so let's start there. Penn State had 3 trips in the red zone, only came away with 3 points. What did you think about their play calling decision, first and goal at the 3 with the game potentially being on the line?
Well, you expected them to probe the middle, and then you expected them to probe the middle again. I didn't understand why they really didn't get number 44, Warren, involved in there in that, you know, in a more big time basis. And then finally, you know, you get to the fourth down, and Allar's first look was to Warren, but Lathan Ransom was all over him out in the flat, and he comes back to the middle, and really that guy's not open because of Caleb Downs. And next thing you know, Ohio State has the goal line stand of the ages, at least for this year, although they had won the previous game and they had won the game before that at Oregon. But this defense is for real. Sometimes you got to shove them all the way back to the back of the room, but when there's just them and the wall left, they seem to stand up and make some plays. So what a moment. And then coming off the goal line after that, wow.
You know, the last 2 games, Ohio State's played in front of record crowds. At Oregon, it was a record crowd, 60,000. And, you know, at this past game in Happy Valley, it was 111,300 people, which was another record crowd. And yet, the penalties, you know, offensive line in the first game, we had like 5 or 6 or 3 or 4 offside, 5 or 6 total penalties in that ball game. This game, just 2 penalties. We had 3, but 1 was declined on the defensive side of the ball. Totally turned the page here, and that just talks about, you know, the discipline this team has had to get after losing to Oregon.
Yeah, maybe the whole team practiced with mitts on last week. You know what I'm saying? You can follow my drift. I mean, yeah, discipline is what wins games on the road, because you know you've got the players to do it. You know you've got the scheme to do it. And if you can combine discipline with ridiculous effort, which is what you saw on Saturday, I mean, you're going to take some punches when you play a team like Penn State. It is a heavyweight bout is the best analogy, because, you know, Tyvis will tell you that, man, those games, I would imagine you would like to be in the cold tub right after the game. I don't think they take portable cold tubs with them. But the bottom line is, you know, it's going to be rock 'em, sock 'em. And so, you know, pardon the boxing pun, but don't hit below the belt. You know, don't give them something, you know, that the referee can deal with. And, you know, the funny thing about it was the irony of Davis and Igbinosun's ridiculous interception. I've never seen one like that. I've been covering football for 50 years now, but he had gotten that holding call, and I thought it was bogus when you go back and look at the video, the play before, and he steps right back up just as aggressive as ever and makes that interception. So when you get knocked down, get back up, right? That's exactly what he did. So that was a microcosm of what you're talking about, Jim.
Tim, you know, this week or in the past couple of weeks, you know, Donovan Jackson has been at left tackle, and they've slid in Carson Hinsman at left guard. Do you think that this will be the remaining starting 5 for the rest of the year? And why do you think it took so long for them to put Carson Hinsman at left guard?
Oh, well, that's a 2-pronged question there. Number one, Donovan Jackson did slide out there after Zen McCauley got hurt, you know, at the end of that Nebraska game. But then number 2, on the pregame show on Saturday, you know, I kept getting that question all week, and I basically pointed out, well, why wouldn't you go with Carson Hinsman? That way you have a full slate of guys who are starters, including Tegra Shabola, has started all year, but Carson Hinsman started all year for you at center. You know, whatever it was that made them mad, it really stuck in their craw, evidently. But, yes, Carson Hinsman made all the sense in the world. And, Thomas, I don't know about you. I thought he had the best game on the line, in my opinion. And you know, sometimes when you get challenged, you do step up. I think you can say that about Carson Hinsman. But, you know, yes, I think Donovan Jackson can suffice at left tackle. He had a couple of moments he'd like back on Saturday, but considering that was his first true start at left tackle for the Buckeyes, I thought he acquitted himself well. But Carson Hinsman, I mean, I don't know why they'd be thinking about anything else other than that at this point.
Tim, they get the ball first and goal on the 3-yard line. They ran the same play, I think, 3 times in a row to the left-hand side, and then they try to hit number 44 in the boundary on the 4th down pass. The quarterback carries the ball on any of those on the goal line running plays. He walks in for a touchdown. Your quarterback in short yardage situations has got to be accounted for. Okay,
and he had run the ball quite a bit all day, which was a surprise. But you know, couple of my buddies who are always looking on that other side of the cloud. You know what I mean? They pointed that out to me. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that the guys up front won't react if in fact he runs. You know what I mean? Those are sort of like, yeah, it looked like he might have walked in, but he might not have walked in. I mean, I thought Lathan Ransom and Caleb Downs came up huge on that fourth down play. Huge. They took away option A and then batted away option B. So, that's what I look at. But I'm one of those coach. I mean, I'd be throwing on second or third down. I wouldn't be waiting until the last play with your perfect season on the line. But I thought the defense reacted very well. I thought the defensive line just put up a wall, including Caden McDonald and those guys. I mean, Ty Hamilton. That was a sight to see.
Tim May, Letterman Road. Tim, we always appreciate your time. We'll chat later in the week, okay?
You got it. I'm imagining you guys sitting around with Burger King cardboard crowns on right now.
It is all good, and it smells wonderful in here. You have no idea, Tim May. You got it. Coming up, hour number 2 of Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King. Our Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Player of the Week Award, the American Dairy Association Mideast's top high school performances, and our whip around the state. High school football playoffs began last weekend. Our Insiders Access tonight. Austin Ward will stop by the program as well. Hour number 2 of Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King. Coming up next here from Learfield.
It is time to square off against overpriced family dinners with Donato's all-new bakery crust pizza. A square-cut, thicker bakery-style crust with smoked provolone cheese and Donato's fresh toppings, plus your choice of marinara, ranch, or garlic sauce for dipping. The crust is thicker, but the deal is the kicker. Right now, you can get 2 one-topping bakery crust pizzas for just $19.99. It's a whole lot of pizza for not a lot of dough. Order with the app or at donatos.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye playoff game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag #BuckeyesCare.
I'm proud to play for The Ohio State University. I remember earning my first Buckeye sticker on my helmet. It gave me pride, it gave me energy, and gave me another reason to win. To be a Buckeye football player like me, Emeka Ibuka, is to know I am part of a legacy. Weber Grills is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, and as a 72-year-old brand, they know a thing or two about legacies. To celebrate these shared legacies, Weber launched an officially licensed limited edition Ohio State Premium Kettle Grill, inspired by our iconic helmets. Get yours at a local Ohio retailers.
At Bob's Discount Furniture, when you find a complete dining set that seats 6 and comes with an extendable leaf for only $5.99.
Oh my, Bob.
And a sofa that doubles as a chaise, and a bed, and storage like my Playscape for only $9.99.
Oh my, Bob.
And a queen mattress with world-famous Bobapedic memory foam and an 18-year warranty like my Treasure for only $7.99.
Oh my, Bob.
Well, there's only one thing to say.
Oh my, Bob.
Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. Buddy Wells. We'll start with college basketball. Tonight, the Ohio State men play game number 1 of their 2024-25 campaign. The Buckeyes are in Las Vegas tonight to face number 19 Texas. The Buckeyes and Longhorns will tip off at 10 p.m. tonight in Sin City. Our coverage gets started right here on The Fan at 9. Tomorrow afternoon, the Ohio State women get their season started at home as the 14th-ranked Buckeyes host Cleveland State at the Shot. That game will tip off at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. You can hear it over on ESPN Columbus. In college football, third-ranked Ohio State continues their stretch of noon games this weekend as the Buckeyes are back at home this Saturday to host Purdue. The Buckeyes enter this one at 7-1 on the year. Meanwhile, the Boilermakers, they're just 1-7, and they are winless in conference play. And Week 9 of the NFL's regular season comes to a close in Kansas City tonight. That's where the Chiefs look to stay unbeaten as they host the 4-4 Buccaneers. Kickoff is at 8:15. Breaking sports news. When it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
From the first one born in the USA to the tens of millions that followed, from the American highways to the NASCAR race days, more people have counted on their Camrys than any other car for over 22 years. And now, Camry is even better. It's all hybrid all the time to be more efficient yet powerful, with available all-wheel drive for the capability to go wherever you want to go in style and comfort. For the latest offers, go to Toyota.com and make your own history. Toyota, let's go places.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, where you rule. Tonight's broadcast, along with all of our Buckeye Roundtables throughout the season, are available on our flagship station's YouTube page. Simply search WBNS Radio on YouTube. You can also watch live or later if you miss any part of it. You can also download the Buckeye Roundtable podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to subscribe to both. Ohio State and Purdue coming up on Saturday. More on that in just a bit, but right now, it's time to talk some high school football.
It's time for the Encova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
One of the highlights of the Buckeye Roundtable show is the presentation of the Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each Roundtable show, Encova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honor a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. And tonight's recipient is senior quarterback Amari Valerio Hudson from Dublin Kaufman High School. Friday night, Valerio Hudson was 6 of 8 passing for 105 yards, but he did most of the damage on the ground. He ran 49 times for 370 yards and all 7 of his team's touchdowns as Dublin Kaufman, the 14 seed, shocked third-seeded Westland 49-42. The Shamrocks are coached by Garon Stokes. They're 3-8 and will play at 6th-seeded Lebanon in the second round of the Division I Region II playoffs coming up on Friday. Again, congratulations to Amari Valerio Hudson from Dublin Kaufman High School, the recipient of this week's Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Athlete of the Week Award. Encova Insurance, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtable's American Dairy Association Mideast top performers and our whip around the state.
370 and 7 touchdowns on the ground. Very impressive, but that was not the only top performances.
Feed him. Yeah, Harrison wide receiver Josh Adelsberger had 10 receptions for 272 yards, 4 catches going for TDs, and Harrison's 43-7 win over Troy.
Oh, Jim, that's nothing. Let's talk about the dark side. Chardon linebacker Alexander Ash had 13 tackles, 8 solo, and 4 in the half TFLs. Recovered a fumble and scored on a pick six in Chardon's 49-14 win over Talmadge.
Guys, I got a running back, Groveport running back Rashad King. He rushed 13 times for 134 yards, 4 touchdowns, leading Groveport past Delaware Hayes 48-7.
Bloom Carroll quarterback Ethan Thanthanavong was 12 of 19 passing for 198 yards and rushed 11 times for 141 yards and 4 touchdowns, including the game winner in the closing minute as Carroll beat Bishop Hartley, Skip's alma mater, 44-43.
Lakota East running back Ryder Hooks rushed for 272 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Lakota East's win, 42-28 win over West Claremont.
I got another running back, Bishop Rady running back Anthony Campbell, 24 carries, guys, for 123 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Grady's 18-17 win over Jonathan Alder.
I got a running back, too. Let's go down to Cincinnati. Cincinnati Elder running back Joey Thaman had 20 carries for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns as Elder beat Mason 28-3.
Well, we going back up to the neck of my woods in Cleveland because Chris Maloney, running back from Benedictine, had 31 carries for 386 yards and all 5 of Benedictine's touchdowns as they beat Tiffin Columbian 35-7.
I got a wide receiver here. Cooper Kaufman had 5 catches for 155 yards and a touchdown. And Anderson's 78-7 win over Edgewood. 78-7. Wow.
All right, my final one is Padua Franciscan running back Roderick Love had 27 carries for 203 yards and a touchdown, and also had 96 yards receiving and 2 more scores in Padua's 31-14 win over Midview.
My last one, I got to show the quarterback some love. Streetboro's quarterback Cohen Climack was 8 of 12 passing for 105 yards, but that ain't all. He rushed for 221 yards and 4 touchdowns, leading Streetsboro past Cardinal Mooney 42-21.
How about this one, guys? DeSales quarterback Coach Day's son, R.J. Day, he was 16 out of 19. For 198 yards, 3 touchdowns. The DeSales beat New Albany 48-28, and he's only a sophomore.
And he's now the school's leading passer of all time, just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore.
So, which is good for
double
him.
that.
Good for him. He's good for him. All right, time for our weekly whip around the state. Let's start with some other good quarterback play. Let's begin in Knox County tonight. Here's WMVO's Tyler Mathias.
The Danville Blue Devils knocked off Bridgeport in their postseason opener in Division 7 Region 27 as the top seed by a final score of 40-0 on Friday night. And their quarterback, Jacob Hackman, threw 4 touchdown passes and totaled 132 yards through the air in the victory. The Danville Blue Devils will now take on Portsmouth Notre Dame at home on Tough Street in Danville this Friday night. Reporting from WQIO and WMVO out of Mount Vernon, I'm Tyler Mathias.
To Northwest Ohio, some big play up there as we welcome in WNDH's Dave Kleck.
A couple of big-time performances highlighted Northwest Ohio playoff action Friday night. The Napoleon Wildcats got 248 yards passing and 5 touchdowns from Owen Espinoza in a 49-0 win over Lorraine Clearview. The Wildcats will be at Bay Village this Friday. And Patrick Henry senior quarterback Lincoln Krager threw for 153 yards and ran for another 107, combining for 4 touchdowns in a Patriot win over Evergreen. Patrick Henry matches up with Carey in round number 2. From WNDH in Napoleon, I'm Dave Kleck.
South into Logan County, where defense ruled. Tyvis Powell loves that. Here's WPKO's Chad Wilkinson.
The Indian Lake defense stepped up big Friday night as they hosted the Versailles Tigers. The Lakers forced 4 turnovers en route to a 19-7 victory. Brody Reisinger led the team with 12 tackles. Also, Madden Lillard threw for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Lakers also didn't commit a penalty in the victory. They'll head to Preble Shawnee this Friday night. Also in Logan County, Bellefontaine was shocked by Chaminade Julienne, who came into AccuSports Stadium and ran for 486 yards and beat the Bellefontaine Chieftains 44-28. Quarterback Tavian St. Clair ends his Chieftain career. He had 3 more touchdowns on the night, 1 passing and 2 rushing. He'll now graduate early, and guys, you'll be seeing him soon at the Ohio State campus. He'll be there in early 2025. From 98.3 WPKO in Bellefontaine, I'm Chad Wilkinson.
Thank you, Chad. Southern Ohio, some good quarterback play there. Here's WNXT's Mark Williams.
The Notre Dame Titans avenged an early season 30-point loss to Shadyside with a 34-12 win Friday in the opening round of the Division 7 OHSAA playoffs. Junior quarterback Ethan Kingery had a monster night, completing 18 of 25 passes for 277 yards and 5 touchdowns. Kingery also led Notre Dame in rushing with 78 yards on 15 carries. The Titans will now get the opportunity to take down the top seed in Region 27, Danville, this coming Friday night.
Mark Williams, WNXT Radio, Portsmouth.
Let's circle up to Washington County. Some big numbers on the ground. Here's WMOA's Andy Rex.
Guys, the Jones brothers of Waterford combined for 389 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns as the Wildcats knocked off Fairbanks 34-21 in the first round of the playoffs. Quarterback Hayden Jones had 35 carries for 274 yards and 2 scores, and also tossed a 65-yard touchdown. His brother Colton had 14 carries for 115 yards and 2 more scores. The win sets up a Region 23 quarterfinal match this Friday with arch-rival Fort Fry, who held off Buckeye Trail 30-22, led by 158 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns from Clayton Miller and 130 yards with 2 scores from Tice Beardsley. From WMOA in Marietta, I'm Andy Rex.
Final stop, Muskingum County. More impressive quarterback numbers as we say hello to WHIZ's David Kinder.
The Tri-Valley Scotties had little trouble in their playoff opener, and senior quarterback Max Lyle continued to put up big numbers. Lyle was an incredibly efficient 14 of 17 passing for 327 yards and no turnovers, and he had 4 passing touchdowns on distances of 8, 60, 72, and 80 yards. And Tri-Valley rolled Carrollton 43-12. The 11-0 Scotties have another home playoff game this week when they take on 8-3 Dover. Reporting for WHIZ Radio in Zanesville, I'm David Kinder.
Thanks to all of our affiliate contributions as the playoffs continue to roll into Week 12. Home teams, Jim Lachey.
St. Henry got a win, a tough win, 13-10 over the New Bremen Cardinals. They've won 5 in a row.
Grandview rolled, too.
Yeah, Bobcats are rolling. They got another game at home this Friday night.
Tyvis Powell, Bedford. I know they got in. They lost to Aurora, I can tell you that.
That's not really good news right there. I'll tell you what, Bedford is gonna climb back up. They're gonna be one of those teams that once they get the right guys in there, they're around each other for a couple of years, they'll be a top seed again soon.
Coach Cooper, you said you went over to see Upper Arlington as they took care of Newark.
Every time I watch them play, they win.
They wanted to take you along every week.
Coach them up.
Only lost 2 all year. They do a great job over there.
Take you up to Olentangy Orange this week. Paul's not here. Moeller beats Sycamore 63-7. They'll host Lakota East. And as you mentioned, Hartley lost to Bloom Carroll in the closing moment. Jim, lots of double-digit seeds won. I mean, people like to complain about too many teams getting in. I mean, this is why it can be good. I mean, Dublin Kaufman, who we heard was a 14, they, along with Hilliard Bradley, only had 2 regular season wins. They both win and move on. Worthington Kilbourne was a 15 seed, the lowest seed to win on the opening weekend. They beat the second-seeded Westland. Congrats to those kids. I mean, it's huge.
No, it is. It keeps their season alive, and it gives them a lot of confidence, you know. And you know, not everybody's going to end with victory. Only one team in each division is going to end the season with a victory. But to get a couple playoff wins gives your team confidence going into the next year.
Tyvis, I mean, you mentioned, we talked earlier in the year, it's one thing it wasn't available. The expanded playoffs weren't around when you played.
Yeah, and it really bothers me now because I really do think that my team, when I played, we weren't good enough to make the playoffs, but I do think we had the talent that if we would have got in, I think we could have upset a lot of teams. It's all about the matchups. If you get the right matchup and you got one dynamic player that can change games, that can be the difference of a playoff win.
Our top performers from around the state was presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder that chocolate milk has 8 grams of protein to fuel everyone, including Ohio State offensive lineman Donovan Jackson. He's built like a Buckeye, and you can be too. Learn more by visiting ohiostatebuckeyes.com/built like a Buckeye. There were some surprises in the top 25 we will discuss after further review as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Union Home Mortgage's 1% down payment program is like kicking an extra point or scoring a 2-point conversion. You put 1% down, and Union Home Mortgage will kick in up to 2% on the house. Visit UHM.com or call 877-846-4968 today. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,500 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hey, Ohio
State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota.
With 25 different choices that'll have you ready for anything, including the new all-hybrid best-selling Camry, the adventurous best-selling RAV4, the best-selling, more powerful Tacoma,
and the newest member of the Crown family, the Toyota Crown Signia.
All come with the traction you need for confident driving.
Any road, any weather. Toyota all-wheel drive.
The more you know, the more you'll drive Toyota.
Let's go places.
The National Veterans Memorial and Museum in Columbus preserves and shares the stories of our nation's veterans from all branches and all eras of service. With a gift of $20 or more, you can honor a veteran in your life by dedicating a flag in their name to be displayed on the museum's expansive grounds on Veterans Day weekend. Your gift will be matched, and your veteran's name will be shared on our website. Learn more at nationalvets.org.
Hey, Buckeye fans! As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye playoff game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Your home for Ohio State Athletics, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mosic. The Foundation's operating a 50-50 raffle at each Ohio State football game this season, with proceeds benefiting and supporting community-based NIL opportunities and the Foundation charities. For more information on how you can participate, visit OSU5050.com.
Buckeye Roundtable.
Greatest play is under further review.
After further review.
Ward looks over to his left side. He's got George and Restrepo over there, over to his right side. Takes the snap. They rush 4. He throws. He's got a man out there. It's gone at the 20, 15, 10, 5. They call me George. Touchdown! It's a touchdown! Touchdown, Miami! 49 yards from Cam Ward. The Jacoby George.
Joe Zagacki, Hurricane Network. Miami got out of a hole they dug themselves into, Jim, but they climbed out in a big way, beating Duke 53-31.
Yeah, that was Cam Ward went off, 400 yards passing, 25 and 41, 5 TDs. Now, he did have that 1 interception, but he's a quarterback that you don't want to see in the playoffs because he can light it up.
Ward's pretty good, Tyvis.
There's a reason why a lot of people keep thinking he might go number 1 in the draft. I mean, he's one of those guys that he just does a really good job of closing games. Yeah. It's been so many times this year that he's had to dig them out of a hole, and he's done it every time magnificently. So, That's
36 points in the second half.
Uh-huh.
You see it?
Wow.
And they needed him because they looked in trouble for a while. Staying in the ACC, Clemson had been rolling since week 1. Would they keep it going when they hosted Louisville?
Brooks motions to the left. Here's the snap. Here's the give. Brown slices ahead. Brown to the 30. Brown to the 20. To the 10. 5. Touchdown, Isaac Brown.
Paul Rogers on Learfield. Cardinals pull away, and they beat Clemson, Jim, 33-21.
Yeah, they all want to fire Dabo again. You know, after he got him back, he was doing some good things for him.
We didn't mean it. No, we're going to get rid of him.
Yeah, you lose one again, they all want to fire him. But, no, that was a surprising win for Louisville. They came back and just took care of Clemson. And, you know, like I said, they had some good play there by the quarterback. And, you know, Jeff Brom, we saw him at Purdue. He's a heck of a football coach, and he's got the Cardinals getting a win against Clemson.
Dabo's going to find out the team that got the best players wins. He better get out there and buy him some players.
Oh, boy. And
they get 26. They're leading. They're down 26-0 at halftime.
Yep.
He was able to silence Tyvis with that one. More chaos in the ACC to Dallas, where number 20 SMU hosted unbeaten Pitt.
First down 10, SMU from their 29, right hash. They go right to left, and Brashard Smith has a handoff, big hole, bounces out left, 35-40, off to the races. Brashard to the 40, Brashard to the 30, has one man to beat, to the 20, to the 10, touchdown!
Rich Phillips on Learfield. SMU cruises and Tyvis. They hand Pitt their first loss, 48-25. Really surprised by the margin of victory.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, we seen Pitt just completely dominate Syracuse either last week or a couple weeks ago, and I just knew that coming down, I think they were undefeated in ACC play. Right. So this was a big.
They were undefeated overall.
Yeah. So this was a big win or a big game for them because it dictated who would probably go to the ACC championship. And,
I'm sorry, I meant Pitt was.
And the fact that SMU did them like this, like, I tell you what, SMU right now, they clicking on all cylinders. They can sneak into that CFP.
Yeah, bad loss for Pitt.
Yeah, that
bad loss for
They're
Pitt.
Undefeated SMU in conference play at 5-0 right now. You know, they're 8-1 overall. And Brashard Smith, you heard there, 23 carries for 161 yards. 2 TDs, and you heard that 71-yarder.
To the Big 12, Iowa State looked to remain unbeaten as they hosted Texas Tech.
With Conyers and Brooks in the backfield, 4 receivers, including Morton on the left side.
They've got 7 inside. You've got 6 to block.
Snap to Brooks, right side. Touchdown, Red Raiders! Taj Brooks gets the corner on the right side, and the Red Raiders have the lead.
Brian Jensen on Learfield. Texas Tech surprises Iowa State, Jim, 23-22.
Yeah, because Rocco Beck, the quarterback for Iowa State, got him back, got the lead against Texas Tech. Just left too much time on the clock, and they took advantage of it and got that win. And that's obviously Iowa State's first loss. So, you know, they'll still have a chance to compete a little bit there in the Big 12, but that was a tough one for the Cyclones.
Yeah, when you get down like that and you give them a lot of time, that defense got to start stepping up. You know, you can't be passive-aggressive because you let them get down the field and boom, touchdown, game's over.
And John Haycock plays at 3-3-5.
Yeah.
And it's usually pretty good against most teams.
That's a bad loss for my Iowa State Cyclones, guys.
More upsets in the Big 12. Houston hosted number 17 Kansas State.
First down and 10 at the Kansas State 41-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. Sanford stays in at running back. Fake the handoff to him, keeping himself. Zion Chris up the middle, into the secondary. He's going to score. And 5, touchdown, Houston. Zion Chris takes it 41 yards, and the Cougars are on top with 2.5 minutes left in the ballgame.
Kevin Eschenfelder on Learfield. Cougars beat K-State, Jim, 24-19.
No, that was a big win. They're, 4-5 now, so, obviously Houston was struggling. They only had, Skip, 232 total yards, 12 for 12 passing for 111 yards in that ball game. So they didn't do a whole lot offensively, but that was just enough to get by Kansas State.
Well, that defense stepped up for Houston. I mean, they forced Avery Johnson in the 2 picks, and he only had 1 touchdown on the day. So anytime you turn the ball over like that 2 times, shorten that field, makes it easy for Houston to score.
Big 12, Coach Cooper. I mean, a lot can happen in the last month or so, and there's one team that's kind of played themselves back into the conversation real quickly, and it's Colorado.
Colorado, you can't. I think I'm right. I don't think you can have over 2 losses and get into playoffs, can you?
You tell me. I have no idea.
That remains to be seen, right?
Yeah. To the SEC, the annual get-together with Georgia and Florida.
3rd and 3 for the Dogs on the Florida 10. Cash Jones slides towards Beck in the backfield. Pressure coming from the edges. We throw it to Lovett. Caught at the 10, breaks the tackle at the 5, end zone, touchdown, Dominic Lovett, and the Dogs are back in front.
Scott Howard on Learfield. Georgia kind of piddled around for a while, and this one they pulled away, and they beat the Gators 34-20.
Well, Carson Beck had 3 interceptions in that ball game there. Usually you talk about you usually don't win, but they found a way to win Georgia with Carson Beck struggling a little bit in that game. End up throwing 2 touchdowns, and you heard that one right there.
He got lucky.
Scored 28 points in the second half, guys.
Yeah, they've pulled away.
To Columbia, where South Carolina hosted number 10 Texas A&M.
All right, Sellers now going to try to run this thing out on 2nd down and 12, 3:36 to go. And he wants to throw it again. He's got Josh Simon who's going to try to break a tackle, and he does. At the 40, run Josh. At the 20, jumps over a man to 10. 5, touchdown Carolina. Touchdown. What a move. Josh Simon. Oh, what a play. Lenoris runs it again, and Simon sheds him. Left and right. Seal the deal.
All I can think is it's the high school play-by-play with Billy Bob. Friday Night Lights. Todd Ellis on Learfield. Gamecocks with the upset over A&M 44-20.
Yeah, Joshua Simmons, you just heard there at touchdown there, had 4 catches for 132 yards, a pair of touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, just was able to, get it done. And, South Carolina, that was a big win for them over A&M, who A&M was playing some good football until that one.
I mean, they just had a big win last week, where Marcel Reed, the freshman quarterback, comes in, and I'm like, okay, they turned the corner, and it's South Carolina. I mean, you give up 144 yards rushing, then the quarterback ran for some, then you got a receiver that goes crazy. You're not going to win too many times giving up that type of stats.
It's going to be hard to get in the playoffs with 2 losses.
Yeah.
They're 7-2.
Staying in the SEC to Knoxville, where Tennessee hosted Kentucky.
Nico out of the shotgun. He's going to hand it off. Dylan Sampson is going to be fighting for the end zone. He's in. Yes. Touchdown, Tennessee. What a run by Dylan Sampson as he broke a tackle at the 5-yard line, just powered his way into the end zone for his 18th rushing touchdown of this season, and Tennessee takes its first lead of the night.
Bob Kessling Volunteer Network. This got tight in the second half, but Tennessee beats Kentucky 28-18.
Yeah, Kentucky's a tough out. You know that. I mean, they play a lot of people tough, but, they're sitting there at 3-6 right now, so they're fighting just for bowl eligibility these last couple ball games. But, it was good to see Tennessee get that win. Sampson ended up with 142 yards and a couple touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, Nico is turning into the real deal. I mean, he's poised. I mean, listen, Tennessee is one of those teams that they're just continue to stay around. They don't have any. I don't think they have too many tough games. I guess they play Georgia in a couple of weeks. That'll be one that's everybody's gonna keep their eye on. They find a way to win that game, that solidifies them in the CFP.
All right, final stop, West Point. Army is still unbeaten. Could they remain that way as they hosted Air Force?
Early third quarter, 6-3 Army. Give to Udo. Big hole up the middle. Touchdown.
Jim Arthur on the field.
That's a quick one.
It was. Army still unbeaten. They take care of Air Force 20-3. And Tyvis, we talk about it every week. It's just amazing, these service academies, Army and Navy, both having really solid years.
Yeah, up until Navy lost to Notre Dame, we were talking about which one of these guys were going to get into the CFP as well. And, Army, obviously, they still can keep their hopes alive if they continue to stay undefeated. But when you play them service academies, you got to be disciplined and you got to know how to tackle because they go run that football.
Army, better defense than Air Force. And I hate to say that because we want them to both be good at defense, but Army was a little bit better. They ran for 207 yards in that ball game. Just 5 for 9 for 48 throwing the football. So, you think Air Force would be able to throw it a little bit better.
Coming up this week, Georgia and Ole Miss as far as top 25 matchups. Alabama at LSU, which you have to think is an elimination game. The loser of that one, 3 losses, 0 chances for the CFP. You have to.
And that's at LSU, right?
It's at LSU.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I like LSU's chances.
Yeah. Up next, we will continue talking a little bit more, put finishing touches on Ohio State and Penn State as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelight.com. Safelight Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelight Repair, Safelight Replace.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. I remember seeing that CareSource heart around town and just knowing they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. And that means the world to so many children today. My name is Cardale Jones, and I was a CareSource kid.
CareSource, your Medicaid, your choice. Visit caresource.com/Medicaid.
Hey there, Buckeye fans. Coach Day here. When you're getting ready for game day, make sure you start with the Kroger app. The app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too. And best of all, when you shop with the app, you'll enjoy the same low prices you'd find in-store. So check out the app and save while you're cheering us on to another great season. Kroger, fresh for everyone, and go Buckeyes.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mosic. Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day concert series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before every home game this season outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest. Each week features a different artist on stage 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board and book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Buckeyes and beat cancer.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
And Jim, how about the way, we touched on it earlier, but it's the way the O-line pulled together guys in different positions just to be able to get that W on.
No, it was. You know, they had to, you know, kind of come up with a new starting five, so to speak, especially on that left side of that offensive line after the injuries that they had. And, you know, everybody thought, well, maybe Austin Saravel would be one of those guards, but, you know, they ended up going with a veteran, Carson Hintzman, and, you know, he's got good size at 6'5", 300 pounds, and, you know, obviously started at center all last year, went, you know, 11 straight games or 12 straight games, started at center, and, you know, he didn't start against Missouri in the Cotton Bowl, and didn't start any this year, but after they kind of reevaluated, and give Carson credit because he continued to work. He didn't, you know, get his dauber down or anything like that. You know, tested his face, but he continued to work hard. And him and Donovan worked well together. You know, again, they played center and guard next to each other for, you know, 12 games last year, so that communication level was there. So I thought it was nice to put him over at guard because that communication could, you know, carry on. And you could see him a lot of times during the game pointing things out, you know, helping Seth out and, you know, helping Donovan out. And, you know, they're a good working combination. And I think they're only going to get better as the year goes. All right, buddy, we're going to head to break here real quick. Our 2 Deep Report was presented by Elk and Elk, serious fans of Ohio State athletics. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Up next, again, we'll check in our insider's access tonight. Austin Ward of Rivals.com will join the Buckeye Roundtable as we continue.
a Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. Coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Hey, Buckeye fans, Union Home Mortgage's 1% down payment program is like kicking an extra point or scoring a 2-point conversion. You put 1% down, and Union Home Mortgage will kick in up to 2% on the house. Visit UHM.com or call 877-846-4968 today. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,500 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
What do football and finances have in common? The team you play with makes a big difference. Credit Union of Ohio is your financial team to help you save and spend like a winner. Whether you're looking to make a big purchase or find ways to build up your savings, you'll always work with a team player at Credit Union of Ohio. Navigate your next big money play easily through Credit Union of Ohio's website at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mosic. And we're brought to you in part by Encova Insurance. Encova, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye Roundtable Insiders.
Ohio State wins at Penn State Saturday 2013. Joined for a few minutes by Austin Ward, Rivals.com. Austin, thanks for your time. Even though it would have been against two top three teams on the road, just in your mind, the importance of Ohio State winning this game, going into the first CFP rankings tomorrow, and staying out of that two-loss pool of teams.
Yeah, absolutely enormous. A huge win for Ohio State, Skip. As you said, it's not just because of the college football playoff rankings coming out for the first time tomorrow night, but if you're trying to accomplish the goals that Ohio State set out for this year, number one was obviously winning the rivalry game at the end of November. They can't control that no matter what happened until they get to that point. But winning the Big Ten championship, getting to Indianapolis, you really could not afford to fall behind and lose both, whatever a potential tiebreaker could be to Penn State and Oregon, knowing that you still have to play Indiana in addition to the rivalry game later on this month in November. So that effectively would have knocked them out. It was a mid-season first week of November elimination game for the Buckeyes just to stay in that race to go accomplish what they want to this year. So that probably more than anything is what was part of the reason of the huge celebration down in that north end zone for Ohio State at Beaver Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
Austin, hey, thanks for joining us. Buckeyes got that victory, and now everything's still in front of them. Okay, say they take care of business, and they win their next 4 ball games, sitting there at 11-1. Probably going to face Oregon over at Indiana. That could be just round 2 of maybe 3 rounds of this, depending on how it all works out. Because obviously at 12-1 or 11-1, 12-1, they're going to get into they'll get that first round bye. They'll be one of the top 4 teams as a conference champion. Oregon would host a team out there, or the other way around. If Ohio State loses that game, they'll probably be that one of those seeds that would host a game here in Ohio Stadium. Do you think they could all play out, that you could get 3 games against Oregon?
Jim, I hadn't really given it much thought until this weekend, to be honest. But I was talking to Bo Bishop earlier in the day and was like, well, these are the 2 best teams in the country. I think that the game that they played a few weeks ago and how close Ohio State was to winning out there in Eugene, I think as painful as it may have been in Columbus and for Ohio State fans and for the people in the Woody and all the self-reflection that they did coming out of that game, I think nationally the view of it was a little bit different, which was like, hey, these 2 teams went absolutely at it to the wire. They've got playmakers on both sides of the football. Oregon is beating everybody else. They had a couple close calls early on in the season, but they've been building some steam. We've seen what Ohio State can accomplish when they're at their best. So I think there's starting to be some warming up to this idea that, a rematch would be pretty fun in Indianapolis, and there's a possibility that, based on the way that those seeds and the brackets play out, and then this newly expanded college football playoff, that now, there's not a world where a selection committee is trying to avoid a rematch or not inviting somebody into the field. If these truly are the 2 best teams in the country, then you can't keep them apart. And they could play in that Big Ten championship game, and they might wind up going at it for a 3rd time to maybe settle it all with the college football playoff national championship on the line. That'd be pretty interesting, but that's the new world we live in.
Austin, I want to ask you about Brandon Ennis. This is a guy that, coming into this season, it was him and Carnell Tate and some other guys that was battling for that 3rd spot. And we hadn't really seen a lot of him, but we saw a ton of him, and he was able to score this week. What do you think has kept him off the field for the Buckeyes this year?
Yeah, Ohio State really wants him to get involved. I think that's why, Tyvis, you've seen him, returning punts, being involved in some special teams action. But the thing that's keeping him off is not anything that he's doing wrong, because whether that's Ryan Day or Brian Hartline, Chip Kelly talking about the way he practices, the work ethic that Ohio State, feels him when he's out there. He's a good leader even when he's not playing. He's got that work ethic that you love. And he's going to be pretty special when the opportunity arises, and he was on Saturday against Penn State. The thing that keeps him off the field is the fact that Jeremiah Smith is an alien, and Emeka Egbuka is one of the most versatile players in America. And Carnell Tate was a guy who, at this time a year ago, Marvin Harrison Jr. was saying, hey, he's ahead of my pace as a true freshman. So it's more that, that's the nature of a crowded wide receiver room for Ohio State. Once this year is over, Emeka Egbuka is not going to be there. And I think that there are a lot of similarities between the way that those 2 guys play, Tyvis. And, if the need arises, you could see that Brandon Ennis was ready to make a play when the situation called for it. You could tell, I think, that, Chip Kelly and Ryan Day were trying to catch Penn State napping a little bit. They put out a personnel grouping that had, all 3 of the starting wide receivers on the sideline. I think they thought, well, that means Ohio State must be looking to run the football here. There's no way they're trying to get involved with their 4th or 5th or 6th wide receiver. But if your 4th wide receiver is Brandon Ennis and you fall asleep, you're going to pay for it, and Penn State did.
Austin, give me your top 5 teams.
Oh, Coach, I watch one team every weekend. I get a little bit too much into the bubble, or I watch 2 teams, I guess. But I'm at every Ohio State game. I think Oregon is the best team because they have the best win. Ohio State was 1 second away from potentially winning that game. And the game that I saw on Saturday was really impressive too. I think that's another reason why Ohio State was so jubilant about what they accomplished. They know that was a really good team that they played on the road, super physical, the largest crowd in Beaver Stadium history. and you know how loud it can get even when you don't have 110,030 in there. So, I think that the Big Ten just still continues to maybe not get enough credit. That's perhaps starting to change a little bit with the way Oregon and Ohio State have played, Penn State's record going in. So, I've seen Georgia struggle. I think they've done good things. Texas, until they lost, had been really impressive. Probably some mixing and matching of those five would be up there, although, Indiana has been really impressive. Their strength of schedule, maybe not what anyone would want to see at this point to put them in the top five, but they're certainly going to have an opportunity in a few weeks in the Horseshoe, plus maybe something that we could learn from them playing Michigan. We'll see. But, I think that's what's also going to be interesting when you guys talk about the college football playoff poll coming out tomorrow night, is that even if Ohio State and Oregon, Penn State, or Indiana, or whoever, they're all in the top five, that doesn't guarantee that you can get one of those top four seeds because of the way that they've structured it with conference championships. So, I think it's going to be an education seeing all this play out. But, for me, I think it's Ohio State and Oregon at the top, and then anybody else, they can argue over that. But I would have to. I think I'm mostly going to sit out that argument until I can educate myself a little bit beyond what I see on Saturday.
Austin, coaches don't want to talk about it. We can have fun talking about it. That's okay. Still 2 games to get there, but would anyone have guessed in August how potentially big the Indiana game might be in 2 weeks?
No, and frankly, I still can't really believe it. I mean, you're looking at the month of November ahead for the Buckeyes, and they're playing a national title contender, and then they're playing a team that's scrapping for bowl eligibility. And if I had told you one was Indiana and Michigan, you probably guessed those details wrong, flip them around. So it's fun. I mean, good for Indiana. Kurt Signet's been really impressive what he's done in year one there, made a big splash. If they can get past Michigan and then they've got an off week, that really sets up for a potentially huge one in the Horseshoe. No one would have guessed it, but college football is wilder than it has ever been. And if that's what we're looking at later on this month, hey, sign me up. It's going to be a pretty fun home stretch.
Austin Ward, Rivals.com. Austin, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on, okay?
All right, have a great night, guys. Up
next, we'll wrap things up. The evening's just flown by. It's so fast. I think Tyvis, he helped us with our sprints. We picked up the speed tonight. We'll wrap things up with some chalk talk as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hey, Buckeye fans, Union Home Mortgage's 1% down payment program is like kicking an extra point or scoring a 2-point conversion. You put 1% down, and Union Home Mortgage will kick in up to 2% on the house. Visit UHM.com or call 877-846-4968 today. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,500 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hey Columbus, looking for the perfect day trip? Head to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Dive into football history, see legendary players, and enjoy interactive exhibits. fun for the whole family. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for tickets. The Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, where it's always football season.
The National Veterans Memorial and Museum in Columbus preserves and shares the stories of our nation's veterans from all branches and all eras of service. With a gift of $20 or more, you can honor a veteran in your life by dedicating a flag in their name to be displayed on the museum's expansive grounds on Veterans Day weekend. Your gift will be matched, and your veteran's name will be shared on our website. Learn more at nationalvets.org.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show with Jim Lachey. Tyvis Powell. It's been a lot of fun having down here with us tonight. Coach Sean Cooper. It's always fun when he's down here. I'm Skip Mosic. We are proudly presented by Burger King. Visit your local BK restaurant to grab your $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle that includes 2 Whoppers, a cheeseburger, 3 small fries, 3 small drinks, and a custom OSU crown. Only at Burger King, where you rule.
Buckeye Roundtable, Chalk Talk.
Finish things up with some Chalk Talk. Ohio State and Purdue coming up on Saturday. We always like to begin with our delivery of the game. Jim Lachey, who must deliver the most for Ohio State to get the victory they want on Saturday?
I think you want to run the football in this game. You want to shorten it. You want to go out there and dominate and get our backs, get them confidence going into this last stretch. So, I would focus on running that football. They obviously did it against Penn State. They should be able to do it against Purdue. Purdue's given up 203 yards per game on the ground. I think they're 121st in the country right now. So that running game ought to be there, and that's the surest way to do it because, if you get a bad weather game, you better know that you can run the football, and you might as well get those guys' confidence high this week by running, behind that offensive line, give those guys some confidence and, throw 15, 20 times a ball game, but make sure you pound that rock.
Who do you want to see deliver, Tyvis?
I think he hit it on the head with the run game. I think that now that you got those 2 guys on the left side, you want to continue to build upon that. You want to see, Carson Hinsman and Donovan Jackson continue to get that confidence. I think this is also a game where you give Donovan Jackson time to be by himself. Let him get comfortable at that left tackle position. See if he can do it without having a tight end on his side at all times. I think that, when you look at Purdue, I think they got a couple of pass rushers that are very respectable that has done some damage over the course of this season. So it'll be a nice test for Donovan Jackson out there, but I think he'll be fine.
Coach Cooper, who do you want to see deliver on Saturday?
Both of our running backs will rush for over 100 yards apiece this weekend. I believe you guys.
All right. Coach Cooper, I may have asked you the same question 30-some years ago, but keys to avoid letting down following such an emotional victory.
Silver bullets, you don't let up. If 11 guys taking the shortest route, get there to the ball carrier, and get there in a bad mood, okay? We in fundamentals, you go watch practice, which Jim and I do a lot. Go watch practice. They're coaching them hard. They're teaching them. They're getting better every day of practice. We'll play better this week than we have probably in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Coach Day talked about it. Purdue's played better. I mean, they were really bad earlier in the year. They had some really bad losses. What have you seen to make improvement-wise just the last month?
Well, I think that their offensive line has gotten a lot better. And, now that Hudson Card is back from injury, I think that he does spin the ball really well. He does a really good job where he doesn't lock in on just one guy. He does a great job of spreading the ball around to multiple people. So this one, our secondary has to be ready to play. Nobody can take the game off. And if he's going to put the ball out there, we got to get some takeaways. Last time we were were in, it was against Nebraska. Everybody was kind of down after that game. Let's bring some spark. Let's bring some energy back there. Let that pass rush come alive, and let that secondary get their hands on the ball.
Purdue's gotten Ohio State a couple of times when they really weren't very good football teams, and Ohio State was. I guess just the key to hammer that home. I mean, Tyvis, I think you redshirted in 12, but you remember the Kenny Guyton game.
Yeah, that was a wild time. That was a wild time. Kenny Guyton had to come in and save us, but you can't take them lightly at all. Purdue it's just wild things that happen when you play Purdue at home and when you go there. Luckily, coming here the last time, like I said, they played Nebraska and it was kind of flat. They're going to have that in the back of their minds. They're going to want to go and show out in front of these fans.
I got some bad memories from Purdue, too. My senior year, Rod Woodson had a punt return and had a couple picks in that ball game.
You know what? The Tom Zach game?
Yeah.
That down marker?
Yep.
You know what I remember the most about Purdue? Drew Brees. Drew Brees. How can you forget him?
Yeah. I said that's when bad teams beat him. Those are good teams.
Yeah, we didn't play any bad teams.
Buckeyes in the NFL, Jimmy.
Hey, first of all, congratulations to Jonathan Cooper. I'm sure Coach Cooper would like to have this money, but just signed a new 4-year deal for $60 million. 33 of that is guaranteed. And remember, he was a 7th-round draft pick in 2021. Now he's getting paid. He's starting to get some pressure on the quarterback. With that re-signing, they sent Baron Browning, another linebacker here from Ohio State. They sent him over to Arizona. Some wide receivers really stepped up. How about Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Big game.
Had 180 yards, a pair of touchdowns. He would have had 258 yards, but 78. He had 2 catches for 78 yards that were called back. J.K. Dobbins had 14 carries for 85 yards, a pair of touchdowns. Garrett Wilson, we saw that catch he had. He had 9 catches for 90 yards. How about Terry McLaurin, the Commanders, my Commanders? Had 2 catches for 2 TDs in that ball game. That's all he needed. And then Noah Brown stepped up. He had 5 receptions for 60 yards. And our thoughts obviously go out to Chris Olave, man. He took a serious hit, got carted off, but he gave it the thumbs up and stuff, and I think he got released from the hospital, so he's going to be okay.
Good. Tyvis, again, thanks for coming down tonight. I had a lot of fun.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Coach Cooper, it's always a lot of fun coming down here, okay?
Always.
Jim, it was more fun than driving home from Penn State late at night where we saw more meat on the highway than any butcher shop you're going to find. It was like I-80 was like dead deer everywhere. Thank goodness we got home safely. Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. For our producer, Bodie Wells, and for Jim Lachey, Tyvis Powell, and Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mosic. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
So are you that person? The one who's been buying over-the-counter insoles just to make whatever shoes you wear cushy? Yep, that was me. Hey, it's Anthony. And before I went to the Good Feet store, my back would kill me if I was on my feet for any serious amount of time. I was told about the Good Feet store's 3-step arch support system. Once I tried them in my shoes, I instantly felt more supported, and honestly, my feet felt aligned perfectly for the first time in forever. And they're fit to me personally. And it's not just comfort. My Good Feet store arch supports are designed to balance and strengthen my feet. They've made such a difference in my life. The Good Feet store has helped many people relieve their pain, obviously me included. No waiting required. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Bring in your favorite shoes to the Good Feet store, and they'll personally fit you to ensure your comfort. Go ahead. Take a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
From the first one born in the USA to the tens of millions that followed, from the American highways to the NASCAR race days, more people have counted on their Camrys than any other car for over 22 years. And now, Camry is even better. It's all hybrid all the time to be more efficient yet powerful, with available all-wheel drive for the capability to go wherever you want to go in style and comfort. For the latest offers, go to Toyota.com and make your own history. Toyota, let's go places.
30% of D1 athletes report betting-related threats and harassment after games. This threatens the safety and mental health of students like Jade.
I'm a college athlete, and I'm more than a bet. When you threaten my life and my family because you lost money, it really scares me.
These threats are not acceptable. Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
You want a sub made the authentic Jersey way? You go to Jersey Mike's. You want a radio idea? You go to me. Like this. I'm a talking dog that only talks about Jersey Mike's. My owner says, "Hey, buddy." And I'm like, "Get me an authentic Jersey sub." He says, "That's all you ever think about." And I say, "No. I also think about teaching myself to drive the Jersey Mike's, but until I figure that out, you're all I have." Woof, woof. Made the authentic Jersey way since 1956. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Meijer holiday deals are here. Shop now and find gifts for everyone on your list. Like a Gourmet 7 or 8 quart air fryer, just $59.99. Save $40. Buy one, get one 40% off on Barbie dolls and play sets. Buy one, get one 40% off board or card games. And Falls Creek or Colorful Planet Kids sweaters for $12.99. Count on Meijer to help make the holidays extra special. Shop even more great holiday deals like these in-store or in the Meijer app.